Yeah, at City Farm School, we planted our seedlings out in May and June, a little bit later this year because it was cold. It's now October, so a lot of stuff has happened since then. I guess to sort of go through it like month by month in terms of the plants is like you transplant the seedlings, and for about the first month you just kind of monitor them to make sure that they're establishing their roots and that they're growing. And then into June, I think June 24th was our very first market this year. So then we start harvesting on larger scales, basically. You harvest a little bit before that, but not that much. So we're kind of like watching our plants grow, tending to them, weeding, watering, doing a lot of sort of talking about what's going on each stage. And with the interns, we're spending a lot of time sort of like getting to know the site, getting to know where it's sunny, where it's shady, where it's colder, where it's hotter, where you need more water, where you need less, and examining why. I find that's one of the things that like any farmer or gardener, like they need to know their own site really well in order to be successful at it. So early on, we're spending a lot of time with all of the interns, like really just kind of getting more intimate with the site that we're growing on. That goes on basically like June, July, August. Then it kind of gets really exciting. You can start getting more of your fruiting plants growing. Not growing, but ready to harvest. That would be cucumbers, zucchinis, tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. Those really exciting summer crops start coming out. So then we're harvesting those, we're preparing them for market. We're getting used to how the market goes. Everyone is sort of more comfortable. People get to know the clients better. The clients get to know our times of the markets better. And then it starts to slow down. Then the fruiting plants kind of slow down how much they're growing, and you just try to do techniques to encourage them to finish ripening off their fruits. And you start really looking into the next year, kind of happens. At this point now, like September, October, my mind is almost all already on next year, which seems a bit premature, but it's just what happens. You're like, okay, this year, like the hard work is done. You start to you get a little bit of distance. You start looking forward to the next year, what you can do better, what you can do differently. And then in terms of the interns, a lot of them are seeing the same kind of thing. Is like a lot of them are starting back in classes in September, starting new jobs, thinking about how they can take what they've learned and practice it out in the world. You see more of the students like doing workshops that they learned here, going out to other organizations and doing them, or like forming partnerships with different people to maybe start a small farm the next year or a garden project, working on their studies and just kind of moving on. It's the fall now. So yeah, that's it. We're preparing the gardens for the next year, starting to like clear the dead crops out, add the compost, give it time to mellow over the winter. Great. Yeah. What else? We're almost done with our workshops too. The City Farm School has two kinds of workshops. One is where we hire farmers and different farmers, herbalists, permaculture people to like come in and teach workshops throughout the season. Our last one is on Saturday, which is kind of sad, but it's kind of fun because it is with the theme of looking forward to next year. It's on seed saving. So we'll have all these seeds that we've saved, and we're going to have Dan Brisebois from Tonicelle come in, and he's going to teach us about seed saving. And that's our last Saturday workshop. And also the students now, the CFS students, they all teach workshops as well, and those are starting to wind down. It's nice to have them in the fall because that helps to integrate the project more with the students at Concordia, the like undergraduate and graduate students at Concordia. For example, there's one going on behind us right now on winter herbal medicines, and you have, actually in there we have students, staff, and faculty that have all come out for that. Yeah, so that's what's happened.